Assalamu alaikum, guys. So today I thought I'll run you through my small but growing mango tree collection. Okay, let's go. Okay, so this is the first mango I will show you. Not the first I planted, obviously. I've got older mangoes, but this is actually I planted this in winter 2024. So the winter that just went past now. So this is a Doc Mai Mango. It's a Thai cultivar variety of mangoes. We've had it from the supermarkets and we like it. Very sweet, very aromatic, beautiful tasting mango. And from what I've researched, it's a very prolific, very productive, consistent producer of mangoes year after year consistently, and it's pretty resistant to pests and diseases compared to other mangoes, and it produces sort of elongated, long style mangoes, different than your classic mango shape, fruit shape. You can see it's sort of oval and long in shape, not as rounded as other classic looking mangoes. Again, I've only planted this in the winter that just went past of 2024, and now it's January the 20th or 21st, I believe, 20th, I believe, January 20th, 2025. So, just a few months since I've planted this tree, and it just it bloomed heavily for me. It flowered heavily during spring. So I planted it in winter, and come spring, it just went ballistic with flowers. It set maybe 10 or 20 fruits almost, mini fruits, mangoes, but I dropped them all and I just left one. Ideally you shouldn't leave any fruits on a young tree, but I do want to try this mango off the tree. I don't want to wait another year. I'm willing to sort of slow down the growth a little bit just to get one fruit, but you can see it's not, it's doing fine. It's putting some good size on the fruit. It's making new shoots. You can see it's very happy actually, and I can see there's new shoots coming out from there, new branches, so it's doing great. And I like how with the weight of the fruit sort of bent the top of the tree down, and that'll freeze in that position, which looks artistic. I like that. It looks like a bonsai. When it grows, the main trunk will have a sort of a U-shaped bend on it. I like that. I've got actually, you can see how it's bent over like a U-shape, and it'll stay there. If you keep it like this, it'll just harden up in this position. I've got a white Chateau mulberry in the back actually that I've trained as an espalier tree. You've probably seen it in my previous videos, but you can't tell because it's full of leaves now. But each winter I prune it back to the skeleton. Very sort of artistic looking tree once you prune it back. Very neat, organized, highly productive. So I like trees that take a sort of a unique form. But yeah, so this is my Doc Mai. Just planted it this the last winter of 2024, which is a few months back, and it's producing one fruit at the moment. So we'll taste it after. I've had it from the supermarket, lovely mango, but obviously from a tree ripened mango, is going to be a lot better than the supermarket bought one. Okay, so, and that's by the way, that's in the front yard. You know, so I've got 3 edibles in the front yard. So everything else, as you can see, is ornamental, just aesthetics, for beauty, for sort of a street appeal, except for this Washington navel orange tree, which is about, I don't know, 7 years old, maybe 6, 7 years old. Yeah, about 7 years old. It's got a good size on it actually. And the second thing, the edible that I've got in the front yard is this Doc Mai Mango. And the third edible tree that I've got is this Bamberoo Mango tree, which is my oldest mango tree, which I planted, you know, not shortly after I bought this property, almost 10 years ago. I bought in 2015. I think I'm either the same year or maybe 2016 I would have planted this, so it's almost 10 years old. This Bamberoo mango tree, which is a Bamberoo is just basically a Kensington Pride, a grafted variety of Kensington Pride. That's all it is. It's not a different variety. It's the same as Kensington Pride, but it's just grafted. It's a grafted selection of Kensington Pride, and they named it Bamberoo. So you can basically call it Kensington Pride. You wouldn't be wrong either, because it is a Kensington Pride. Yeah, and I don't know why I waited so long. Actually, yeah, to plant the mangoes. I did try along the line, but I lost a couple, and I just sort of forgot about it. You know, I was too busy collecting figs. But I love mango trees. You know, especially for Sydney weather, where I am at least here, it's a hassle-free tree. You know, you just throw it anywhere. You know, with my experience anyway. I mean, the other 2 trees that I lost, one of them, my little girl ripped it apart, and the other one, I think, we were away and we just didn't water it. It was a young tree and it died. So it's not, you know, didn't just die sort of because, you know, the climate was not suitable or anything like that. We sort of killed it, you know, those other 2. But they're so easy, I find them, you know, hassle-free. You don't need to spray. No pests will touch it. No fruit flies will touch it. You know, I've never really had a problem with bats. You know, like I tend to bag them just before they get ripe, maybe a few weeks away from ripening stage. I will just use those organza, those small organza bags. You know, individually bag each one. Never had a problem with bats or even birds. No fruit flies. Nothing really bothers mangoes in my experience. Very ornamental looking tree, as you can see. You know, it's an evergreen tree, lovely looking tree, stays green all the time, all year. Beautiful looking leaves, lush and green, produces these lovely looking fruits that hang, you know, majestically off the tree. And you know, if you haven't had a mango, you have to have a mango, because once you go mango, you won't go back. It's amazing. It's amazing fruit, amazing tree. So now I've started collecting more of them, you know, because you know, I'm leaning towards whatever's easy for my climate, then I will plant. You know, like I'm leaning towards that now. It's just easy, you know. Like why go against the flow? You know, if mangoes do well in your climate, then do mangoes. If citrus does well, then do citrus. You can experiment obviously with other things, which I do, you know, like. But yeah, you should always grow what's good in your climate, and obviously whatever you love eating. If you don't like eating mangoes, then there's no point growing mangoes. So just plant what you like and what thrives in your climate. And mangoes seem to thrive in Sydney, from my experience. It's hard to kill a mango once it takes off in Sydney. Obviously, it's not as you know, happy as Queensland mangoes, you know, because that's full subtropical up there. We have a sort of borderline subtropics here, maybe a warm-temperate climate. I think zone 10A or something like that, if you have the zona somewhere there. So it's still suitable for mangoes, very suitable. Like it's hard to kill a mango once it, you know, establishes itself. It's almost impossible to kill a mango in Sydney. Very easy, hassle-free, pest-free, productive, beautiful looking tree, amazing flavors. what more can I say about mangoes, you know? You can see how beautiful the fruits look on them. They're just not normal, you know, out of this world. It's in my opinion, one of the best looking fruit. Look at that. Subhanallah, that's wow. It's just words cannot express how beautiful they look, you know, how it's an amazing creation. I love looking at them actually. One of the best looking fruits to look at. They're up there, you know, with like dragon fruits, you know, in terms of looks. I'm not a massive fan of dragon fruit, the taste of it. A bit bland in my opinion, refreshing, it's nice, but in my opinion it looks better than it tastes. It's one of those things that looks better than it tastes. That's dragon fruit, but looks beautiful, one of the best looking fruits. You know, it looks like a dragon's egg, you know, if there's such a thing. But yeah, that's mangoes. Let me just step back here. Okay, let me walk around that. So yeah, this is a Bamberoo, which is a grafted selection of Kensington Pride. Pretty productive actually. You can see there's clusters of fruit everywhere. As you walk around the tree, you see clusters and clusters of fruit everywhere. Another one here. There's a couple there. There's like a bunch there. Behind them there's another like 3-4 cluster of 3-4. Let me just get around there. There you go, there. In there's a couple as well. And I've pruned it in a sort of open vase shape. You can see the center. Let me try and get in the center actually, one second. Bismillah. Okay, there we go. So we're inside the beast. One second. So yeah, there you go. There you go. You can see the mangoes now everywhere around the tree. This is the trunk of the tree, so it's almost 10 years old. You can see where they've grafted it right there. That's the rootstock, and that's the open. You can see, I can see the sky from the center. I've literally pruned the whole of the inside. This is the way you're supposed to prune mango, or a lot of trees, apart maybe from citrus that are like being pruned that way, or hardly like being pruned actually, citrus. But most other trees like stone fruits and mangoes and a lot of fruit trees, they like to be pruned in this way, open shape. So they want to have a lot of air circulation, a lot of light going through them. So you can see I've opened up the center, completely opened up the center. So there's the main trunk, and I've got a few scaffolding, a few branches, main branches, 1 to about 3 main branches, and the center is completely open. And yeah, you can see the mangoes inside of it everywhere, mashallah. There's a whole cluster there. Let's go walk around the other way. Yeah, so yeah, this is the Bamberoo. It's Australia's favourite mango. It's an Australian cultivar, Australian variety. I believe it was a chance seedling. So it was discovered by chance from a seedling in Kensington, Sydney, I believe. So there's a suburb called Kensington in Sydney. It's on the eastern side of Sydney. It's an eastern suburb called Kensington. Yeah, it was discovered there as a chance seedling, so they called it Kensington Pride. You know, it was because it was discovered in Kensington. So it's a very popular mango in Australia as a whole. One of the most popular mangoes in Australia, Kensington Pride. Beautiful tasting mango, good looking mangoes, aromatic, pretty productive. You know, they don't seem to be consistently productive year after year. But they do have sort of bumper crop years and then sort of average other years, you know, so but still productive, you know, reasonably productive, reasonably sort of resistant to diseases and fungal diseases and issues. and you can see there it's got a fair amount of fruit, mashallah. As you look everywhere, there's fruits. So yeah, and it's already making new sort of shoots. You can see there the fresh new leaves and shoots that are red coloured. They're the new shoots coming out of it now at the moment, and that's the Kensington Pride, or the Bamberoo Mango, which is actually our Kensington Pride. Bamberoo is just a new name they gave it. They gave the grafted selection of Kensington Pride. So it's just a Kensington Pride that's been grafted, so they named it Bamberoo. But otherwise, it's actually our Kensington Pride Mango. Okay, so that's the number 2. Okay, we'll have to go the other way. I can't. The truck is on the way. Okay, so I'll give you a close-up. So there she is there. You can see this angle, and you can see a fair amount of fruit. That's only on one side. There's a fair bit of fruit right around. Beautiful looking tree. I fell in love with them, the way they look. One of the best looking trees. Just evergreen, looks nice, good structure on it, good fruits, beautiful tasting fruit. Yeah, you can't go wrong with a mango. So now I'm sort of, I got addicted to collecting them. So I'm up to number 4 now and counting. So okay, let's go. Let's go to the back now, where I've got another, what do I have in the back? 2 more mangoes in the back, I believe. Yeah, 2 more in the back. Okay. All right. Give me a sec. Okay, so this is the backyard. That's my sort of backyard orchard there, that section, and this is like the lawn section with fruits right around. So that's the this tree here is the mulberry, the white-tooth mulberry, and that's the aspelia I was telling you about. You can't tell now because it's just shot up, you know, they're very vigorous. But you can see there, that's the main trunk. It's the main trunk. It's about a 9-inch trunk, and you can see the structure there. See it? It's an aspelia. So you got branch coming this way, another one this way, then you go up, another one this way, another one this way, another one this way. It's like a 2D tree. So every winter I'll prune it all back. So all this new growth, I'll chop it back, and it makes good mulch. I'll drop it back, and it's actually going through our second crop at the moment. So we've already finished the first batch, the first crop, and it's produced another crop now. It's January, summertime in Sydney. It's midsummer, actually, literally midsummer, and it's producing a second crop. You can see there, they're just starting. Probably in a month or so we'll be eating them. So it does produce a couple of crops a year. Yeah, lovely tree as well. All right, so so this is my 3rd mango, which is a Valencia Pride Mango, which I also planted not long ago. Probably about the same time, or a little bit late after the name Doc Mai. I would have probably planted this maybe in mid-spring or something of 2024, just a few months ago, just maybe 3-4 months ago. I planted it, and it already shot up a few branches there, a few shoots. So there, that's a new shoot there. There's these 2, 1, 2, 3. That's a new shoot, 4, and you can see there's new shoots coming up there. Yeah, so it's supposed to be one of the most vigorous trees, mango trees that is, one of the most vigorous mango, and that's why I wanted something that grows quick in this area, just to provide some shade over the garden shed. and just over sort of the backyard there, because that gets harsh afternoon sun, and I want to shade it a little bit, you know, so in case we want to have barbecue or just a bit of shade for the kids or whatever. So I wanted a vigorous, fast-growing fruit tree, and that's one of the most, if not the fastest mango tree, apparently. Very, very vigorous. So we'll see. But yeah, it seems to be pretty quick. It's only a couple of months old, and it's already made. Look at that. Like, you know, it's about 4 or 5 inches each shoot. That's about maybe 6 inches, that new shoot there. These are about 4 inches each, 3 of them, and it's producing a new set there. So you can see there and there, they're coming up as well. So it does seem pretty vigorous. And it's supposed to be a beautiful taste of mango. Again, it's on the elongated side. It's a little bit sort of oval and long shape, very large, probably 2 or 3 times the size of a Nam Doc Mai in terms of length. Very good taste of mango. So I haven't tasted it myself. I've tasted the Nam Doc Mai, not the Valencia Pride, but it's supposed to be a good tasting, vigorous, pretty productive. So looking forward to that. And subhanAllah, this, you know, especially here because it cops the afternoon sun. It's, you know, the harsh Australian sun in the afternoon. It hits it directly on the trunk, and that you shouldn't do. You should protect the trunk of a young tree, especially like a fruit tree, from the afternoon sun. Especially in Australia, it's very harsh, the intense sun. So this thing grew by itself here, just a wild cherry tomato. You can see it's actually producing. There you go. Yeah, might as well pop a few in my mouth. Put it down. Very sweet too. Who needs mangoes when you've got cherry tomato? So I grew it by itself there. This thing is so vigorous. Man, you can almost watch it grow. That's how quick it is, this cherry tomato. Take this sweet out. So yeah, it's just gonna basically bush out there, and it'll cover the whole trunk of that tree in no time. So it'll provide some shade for it. Perfect. Alhamdulillah. Couldn't ask for more. Okay, my last, but not least, mango tree is this bad boy here, and that's a orange sherbet mango tree. I literally planted it maybe 1 week ago, yeah, maybe a week ago, or maybe even less, you know, less than a week ago. I planted it in this spot. So basically I've got the steps going up to the backyard, mango tree there in this planter box, there's an olive there, mango tree there, and then mango tree on the other side of the staircase. So you can imagine it's going to look amazing, inshallah, once they grow. And you can imagine it's going to drip in fruit. You'll be walking up the stairs. Got to fix the stairs, by the way, on the to-do list, you know, on the bucket list. But yeah, you can imagine you walk up the stairs, you've got one mango tree on each side. Yeah, it's going to look beautiful, inshallah. And they provide the shade, the sort of aesthetics, they look good. So anyway, that's a orange sherbet mango tree. Arguably, or apparently, according to the people that are into mangoes and collect mangoes, that's one of the top tier mango trees to get. One of the best tasting mango trees to get. It's got a citrus smell and flavor to it, apparently. That's why they call it orange sherbet. Extremely sought after, rare mango. So it's got a citrusy orange, sort of a tangy orange mango flavor, which I would love actually. We like our sort of fruits to have a slight acidity to them, not too sweet. You know, it becomes a bit boring when it's too sweet. It becomes overwhelming. When something is way too sweet, you can't have too much of it, you get turned off. It's just too sugary. So we like it a bit complex, you know, a bit of acidity, tangy taste, or, you know, some other sort of flavors, not just straight sugar, which this thing apparently has. It's got like an acidic, tangy, citrusy taste into it. So it's supposed to be amazing flavored tree, mango tree. So I can't wait for that one. I can't say much about it other than that. I just planted it a week ago, so I can't tell you it's quick or fast or anything like that. We'll see what happens. It's grafted. You can see where the graft is there. There you go. Just a baby graft, and the reason why I've wrapped it like a mummy, I mean, I didn't want to do it like this, but as soon as I planted it, I turned my back, and my little girl, she just had her eye on it. She saw me plant it, I turned my back, and she just grabbed it and she started swinging it, and I freaked out. She's about to snap it, and I was waiting for a long time to get this mango. I wasn't, I had it ordered, and I think I paid maybe $80 for it. So it's a bit of money, and it's not the money, it's just the weight. It's hard to get. You got to wait for these things, and you got to put your name and weight, and then I planted it on my back, and she's, swinging it like, it's a toy or something. So I freaked out. So I put a thicker stake in there, like a piece of a rod, a stake, and I just wrapped it firmly in there. So, and she seems to sort of stay away from it now, because it's not just sort of flopping up in the air, and it was sort of too attractive for her before. It was just sort of flimsy and swinging in the air, and just she couldn't help herself. She grabbed it. But yeah, I've mummified it now, and what I've done, I got a basil plant which was growing in my backyard. It grew by itself from seed, so I pulled it out from the dirt, the soil with the roots, and I planted it in there, and I've put the rocks and pebbles back around it as mulch. Any mulch is good, even if it's rocks and pebbles, because they do the same job as mulch, retain the moisture, and they do have some natural nutrition and things like that present in the rocks. So it's good, very good actually. So I planted this basil tree there in the hopes that, because basil is pretty fast growing as well, so that's going to grow and it'll cover this whole trunk from the afternoon sun, because the basil will grow the same height as the actual mango easily. The mango is about almost a meter, and that's how high the basil will grow, about a meter, 3 foot or so. So it'll grow there, it'll shade it from the harsh afternoon sun, so it'll sort of babysit it until it's able to sort of grow some leaves and protect itself against the harsh sun, and it'll benefit from the basil as well. It'll look good. It's use it in your cuisine. Looks nice, smells nice, so it's a plus. And yeah, so that's the I can talk all day, but I think I'll cut it off now, and that's my mango collection so far. So I've got 4 and counting. I'm eyeing out this space here. I'm thinking, I've got one on this side, on this staircase, one on this side of the staircase. Then I've got a Moroccan olive tree here. And then, I'm looking at this corner here where the cucumber and the chilies are growing. I'm thinking, yeah, why not? Maybe I can get another mango, put it there. I might shop around, do a bit of investigating, see what tickles my fancy, and we'll see what happens. Or maybe avocado tree or something. Avocado tree, maybe, yeah. Or even a white sapote. Yeah, maybe a white sapote. Anyway, we'll see what happens. But that's it for today, and I'll talk to you later. If you like, share and subscribe. And assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah wa barakatuh.